Microsoft is battling the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, in court as we speak over the Activision Blizzard deal, giving a ton of juicy behind-the-scenes details about exclusivity for certain games, when to expect the PlayStation 6 and new Xbox, and way more. We also got updates on Spider-Man 2, Starfield, so a ton to go over. A like would of course really help me out, and subscribe because I post a news roundup video like this every Sunday. But first, the sponsor of this video, I talked about it before, Mircosoft Rewards, because this is a very easy way to get a ton of free stuff like Amazon gift cards, Game Pass, with the highlight currently being a Microsoft Rewards 1 million Riot Point sweepstakes. So simply sign up to Microsoft Rewards for free via the link in the video description to get a free entry, and they can also start earning points by using Edge, doing simple tasks like answering a daily poll, and using the brilliant Bing AI assistant. I asked about the most important features of Assassin's Creed Mirage, and the answer is really solid. Okay, now let's try this. Okay, I'm not sure why they're talking about the net worth. Either way, by using the Bing AI, you can automatically earn points that you can then spend on many rewards that Bing is perfectly listing here as well, so thanks for that. Sign up for free via the link in the video description and start earning now, and you can then also get a free entry into the Microsoft Rewards 1 million Riot Point sweepstakes. You got until July 31st, so you have to be fast. And of course, using that link and signing up would really support the channel. Okay, now let's get back into it. First, I want to look at the recent Horizon Forbidden West update that added a memorial for Lance Reddick, who of course very sadly passed away earlier this year at the age of 60. You find it over here on the map in the Burning Shores DLC with a Poison Ivy on Reddit, smartly pointing out that this is also where the Walk of Fame would be in Hollywood. So that's a very nice touch. We still don't know what will happen with Silence in the future. If you finish the Burning Shores DLC, then you know that they teased that he would play a huge role in the third game. So I'm really curious how they will approach it. Will they have his character now fizzle out, find someone else to do the performance, or find another way to make it work? Again, at least awesome that he now has a memorial in the Horizon world. And it will likely be a while before we hear anything on the third game, while we should expect some news soon on the multiplayer title that has been in development for a really long time. There's also a Horizon Zero Dawn remake in the works, and of course that Netflix show. This is the first time since Forbidden West was revealed, so 3 years ago, that we don't know what the next Horizon sort of product will be that we can look forward to. So I totally think they will announce something soon, with rumors even suggesting that we might have a second PlayStation showcase like they did in 2020 at the end of this year, which would be great, but I'm not expecting it. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up. I still think it makes sense though. We will see. I will keep you posted here on the channel. Now let's go to court. Okay, that sounded cooler in my head. No, but interesting news came out of the FTC hearing that is trying to block the Activision Blizzard deal. So for one, Microsoft expects the new Xbox and PlayStation 6 in 2028. Meaning that this generation will once again be longer than the previous one, which was from 2013 to 2020, so 7 years. Which also makes the rumors of a PlayStation 5 Pro in 2024 way more likely. That would be like halfway through the generation. Microsoft, by the way, thinks that the Project Q Lite that Sony plans to launch this year will be under the $300, so probably $299 then. Like the DualSense Edge, that is just a controller, is $200, 240 euros by the way in the Netherlands here. This device also has a screen, battery next to the controller parts. I really think $20.99 is what they're gonna charge for it. Even if you can only play games like through remote play, it will be a very hard sell, but I'm a sucker. I will probably get it. Remember that Indiana Jones game that Machine Games is working on? Well, this was already in development before Microsoft bought Bethesda, and it was originally planned for a release on PS5, but that changed after Microsoft took over, similar to what happened with Redfall. So now this game will only be coming to Xbox and PC with a day one Game Pass release planned, and all we know about the game is that it's a unique genre mashup that does a lot of different things, according to Todd Howard. The question, of course, is, will it be third person like Uncharted, or first person, as that is what Machine Games is known for with the Wolfenstein series? Or maybe they will do both, and that in combat it's first person, but while climbing it's like third person. We will see. And seems like the studio is also doing a second project that is still not Wolfenstein 3. Of course, take this with a grain of salt, but we haven't seen anything from Machine Games since 2019, and that was Youngblood, which was already a smaller game than Wolfenstein 2 they did before that. Now, one of the big things that came out of the FTC hearing is that Sony knew all too well that Call of Duty would not leave PlayStation, even though they did make a case for that publicly. Like, even the Microsoft CEO told Jim Ryan that this would not happen, and now, under oath, Phil Spencer said that they will do everything it will take to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. But when asked about other Blizzard franchises like Diablo, he could not give a firm answer. Also regarding Elder Scrolls 6, he said that it's still 5+ years away and that it's too early to know which platforms it will be on. Which for one hurts, 5+ years. Like, we saw them like work on Elder Scrolls in like a video, but of course everyone is working on Starfield, and after that ships, and they're still doing DLC as well, then they will finally move over to Elder Scrolls. So yeah, it's far away. And what if it's like a launch title for the next Xbox? 5+ years would be 2028. That would be wild. Going back to the exclusivity wars, because we now learned that Bethesda was seemingly in talks with Sony to make Starfield a PlayStation 5 exclusive, which is not strange because they of course already had Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. So then you are looking at the rest of Bethesda's lineup and thinking, okay, we want that as well, with Starfield of course being the really big one. But after hearing that, Microsoft was like, screw this, we are going to acquire Bethesda so we can stop this from happening, which is like kind of big dick move to do, but it worked. Like, imagine if the Bethesda acquisition never happened and Starfield would be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. So then we had Final Fantasy 16 on PS5 right now, and then 2 months later Starfield. That would be kind of wild, but it's way better balanced now. Like, would suck if you only have an Xbox and then you also could not play Starfield, and if you only have a PS5, it's way easier to get access to Starfield through the many streaming options. Todd Howard, by the way, said that if Starfield was also coming to PS5 alongside Xbox, so if it was multi-platform, then it would not be coming out so soon, so on September 6th. The less consoles you have to focus on, the faster you can work, which makes sense, but was still an interesting thing to hear. We also learned that only 10% of the 1,000+ planets in the game will have life on it, so more than 900 of them will be barren with only like resources that we can gather there, which doesn't sound great, but of course we have to wait and see how it works. Like, if you see all the planets and it's just like, oh, if you want to get space ore or whatever they will call it, you have to go to this planet, then you land there, they will do some procedurally generated stuff, and you get out in like 10 minutes, then I don't mind. But the moment I'm forced to go to these planets, or if I don't know if the planet that I'm going to will have life or not, then it's gonna suck, because if you land on 3 planets that has nothing going on, yeah, that's not a great experience. But I want to think that they thought about that, right? So we will have to wait and see. We also learned that there are no vehicles in the game, so only on-foot traversal. Going a bit faster with the jetpack is possible. It really seems like you're just landing on a planet, doing things around your spaceship, and then leaving instead of like really wandering around on this planet. There are only 4 characters that you can romance, and those are the ones that are in the main constellation. While you can of course have many people as a crew on your ship, with even a full robot crew. One of the highlights from the Starfield Direct was totally being able to customize your own ship, and the amount of possibilities that seem to be there. Well, this seemed to be a late game activity, so it will likely take some time before you can really go crazy with this. I'm still cautiously optimistic about it. I loved that gameplay that they showed, and we're pretty close, so I will be covering it here on the channel. Let me know what your hype level is for Starfield in the comments, and yeah, I'm curious. Moving over to the big release on the Sony side, it seems like they're working on some sort of pre-order trailer for Spider-Man 2 that we also had for the first game and Miles Morales, coming this summer, which is exciting. Like, we of course know what the pre-order suits already are. I think they look awesome, and we also know about the 10 exclusive deluxe edition outfits, but seeing them in-game is of course way cooler. Like, any new footage for this game would be appreciated at this point, and I would not be surprised if we get some new stuff at San Diego Comic-Con that starts on July 20th. Because in 2018, for the original Spider-Man, they had a full panel with a ton of the actors, developers, They showed off some Funko Pops, but more interesting is that this was where they showed the story trailer for the first time. So I really would not be surprised if they bring some new trailers and footage to San Diego Comic-Con. We'll of course keep you posted here, and actually today, at the time of publishing, so June 25th, they're performing the title track for the game in LA, and there should be a way to listen to it after the fact, although likely not immediately unless someone makes a recording, so fingers crossed. We also learned there won't be a demo for the game, which not really a surprise, but we will of course see way more before the October 20th launch. And really, we have to talk about October because it's getting crazy. We got Forza Motorsport, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Lords of the Fallen, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, City Skylines 2, Alone in the Dark, and Nintendo with their Direct actually announced a bunch of October games as well. While November is really quiet, which is kind of interesting. Maybe the publishers know about a November game that we don't know about yet. So we of course do know that Modern Warfare 3 will launch there, but is there more or something? So I totally think some games will move out of October, and it's probably going to be Lords of the Fallen 2 and Alan Wake 2, as I don't see it happening for the bigger titles. Those games, though, I think they could use like a quieter spot. That would really benefit them. But yeah, if 2023 would stop right now, we would already have one of the best years in gaming. And it's not stopping. We still have a very exciting second half of the year. So hope you'll of course be along for the ride. We'll keep you posted here. This week we will have more Final Fantasy 16 videos coming your way. I hope you're enjoying the game as much as I am. If you're playing, of course, there will be a PC release as well, but no date was announced yet. We might have a Mirage video, and a new Sunday video will also be up at the end of the week. So of course subscribe to not miss these news roundup videos. A like would of course really help me out. And check out my previous video on Avatar and why I'm like kind of feeling weird about it. I'm not sure. I don't know if it will be good. So check it out by clicking on the screen. We'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.